brain-degenerating maladies that includes Alzheimer's. It's in the genes, it's inevitable with age, and it's a given if you live into your 80s and beyond. Not so fast. I'm here to tell you that the fate of your brain is not in your genes. It's not inevitable. And if you're someone who suffers from another type of brain disorder, such as chronic headaches, depression, epilepsy, or extreme moodiness, the culprit may not be encoded in your DNA. It's in the food you eat. Yes, you heard that right. Brain dysfunction starts in your daily bread, and I'm going to prove it. I'll state it again because I realize it sounds absurd. Modern grains are silently destroying your brain. By modern, I'm not just referring to the refined white flours, pastas, and rice that have already been demonized by the anti-obesity folks. I'm referring to all the grains that so many of us have embraced as being healthful. Whole wheat, whole grain, multigrain, 7-grain, live grain, stone ground, and so on. Basically, I am calling what is arguably our most beloved dietary staple a terrorist group that bullies our most precious organ, the brain. I will demonstrate how fruit and other carbohydrates could be health hazards with far-reaching consequences that not only will wreak physical havoc on your brain, but also will accelerate your body's aging process from the inside out. This isn't science fiction. It's now documented fact. It is my objective in writing Grain Brain to provide information that is sound and based on evolutionary, modern scientific, and physiological perspectives. This book goes outside the box of the layman's accepted dogma and away from vested corporate interests. It proposes a new way of understanding the root cause of brain disease and offers a promising message of hope. Brain disease can be largely prevented through the choices you make in life. So, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'll be crystal clear. This is not just another diet book or generic how-to guide to all things preventive health. This is a game changer. Every day we hear about something new in our various wars against chronic disease, particularly with regard to illnesses that are predominantly avoidable through lifestyle habits. You'd have to be living under a rock not to know that we are getting fatter and fatter every year, despite all the information sold to us about how to stay slim and trim. You'd also be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't know about our soaring rates of type 2 diabetes, or the fact that heart disease is our #1 killer, trailed closely by cancer. Eat your vegetables, brush your teeth, sweat once in a while, get plenty of rest, don't smoke, laugh more. There are certain tenets to health that are pretty commonsensical, and that we all know we should practice routinely. But somehow, when it comes to preserving our brain's health and mental faculties, we tend to think it's not really up to us, that somehow it's our destiny to develop brain disorders during our prime and grow senile in our elder years, or that we'll escape such a fate through the luck of good genes or medical breakthroughs. Certainly, we would probably do well to stay mentally engaged after retirement, complete crossword puzzles, keep reading, and go to museums. And it's not like there's a blatantly obvious, direct correlation between brain dysfunctions and specific lifestyle choices, as there is between, say, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day and getting lung cancer, or gorging on French fries and becoming obese. Like I said, we have a habit of categorizing brain ailments separately from the other afflictions we attribute to bad habits. I'm going to change this perception by showing you the relationship between how you live and your risk of developing an array of brain-related problems, some that can strike when you're a toddler and others that get diagnosed at the other end of your lifespan. I believe that the shift in our diet that has occurred over the past century, from high-fat, low-carb to today's low-fat, high-carb diet, fundamentally consisting of grains and other damaging carbohydrates, is the origin of many of our modern scourges linked to the brain, including chronic headaches, insomnia, anxiety, depression, epilepsy, movement disorders, schizophrenia, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder,